When people look back and they're speaking of you, what will they have to say? What will they have to talk about? If you think about that now and you are intentional about that now, then your growth in your business will be inevitable. Because the way that you will show up now, the way that you will walk now, the way that you will talk now, the way that you will flow now will be like magnets to your ideal clients and your ideal customers. So what does that look like? I know that in our Your Next 100K Accelerator program, we focus so much of our time on this layer because it is the foundation. Everything else that we build upon is going to rest on the soil, but that's your work. That's your work to do. That's your self-mastery journey. And it is going to be built upon the foundation, which is your positioning. So think about those 4 areas. I've given you the formula. Visibility times credibility plus strategy equals profitable authority. I've given you the 4 eyes of authority. That's internal, influence, industry, and impact. And so now I want to share this with you. We always hear people talking about scaling. And people believe that you grow and then you profit and then you scale. They think all you do once you reach the scaling level is you just keep scaling. And that is not correct. And if you continue to believe that's true, you are going to be stuck on a hamster wheel that's going to look messy and it's going to feel messy. The real flow is grow, profit, scale, grow, profit, scale, grow, profit, scale, grow, profit, scale. When you remember that, then every single time that you have a breakthrough, every time that you introduce a new offer, every time that you reach a revenue goal, you will understand that you go back to grow, then you make more profit, then you scale that thing or that area again. If you stay stuck in scale, then what you will be doing is building vertically forever. Building vertically is very important because you want to go as deep as possible on one offer before you start adding on too many other things. And so vertical growth is really critical to your sustainable success. You can grow horizontally and be successful, but things will come crashing down rather quickly. So if you will grow vertically, go as deep on that offer, milk as much profit out of that offer as possible before you add another offer to your suite, then you will find that you have grown roots into that soil. We've all seen trees that get toppled over when a big wind comes through during a storm. And you'll hear people say something about the roots of the tree. Because for the trees that don't topple over, we know that the roots are deep. And the roots were so strong that they could withstand the storm. Understand that your business will face storms. We cannot avoid those. We can prepare for them. And so we talked about that soil earlier, and we talked about why you needed the soil to be where you build roots, your power. But when you're building and growing a business, you also want your offer to take root so that when the big bad wolf of life, of the economy, comes and huffs and puffs on your business, it may wobble, it may sway, but it will not topple over. So please don't be in such a hurry during growth to grow wide, because wide growth without deep roots is not going to be sustainable. And so once you have scaled one offer, that means it's strong. Scale means strong. Then you can look at, what do I want to offer now? How can I expand my offer suite and go horizontal with another offer? But when you decide that other offer, you're going to do the same thing. You need to grow that new offer. You need to get it to the first 100K, because then you know that it's a viable offer, that people want to pay for it, and that you know how to sell it. And then you are going to scale that offer. And during scale, we'll talk so much about that. During scale, when you're going to make it strong. So it's grow, profit, scale, grow, profit, scale, over and over again. If you have a question about positioning, if you have a question about growth as it relates to this layer, if you have a question about the formula, if you have a question about the 4 I's of authority, any of those things, put it in the chat, in the comments, and I will answer. So one of the things that I will say while I'm waiting to see if there are any questions, or you can just put in comments, you can put in a takeaway. How about that? What is your biggest takeaway from any of the formulas that I've shared today? Which one resonates with you? Which one are you ready to do something with or do something about?